Hey, just want to shoot a quick video for you. There's a lot of discussion, a lot of hype around hustling. You gotta hustle and grind and put in the extra effort and be tenacious and all that stuff. And I think I shouldn't say we all, many of us have great work ethics. We follow through, we go the extra mile, we deliver, we are responsible, reliable, people count on us. So, work ethic is never a question for people I deal with. The concern of telling them to take it easy and then they're going to just play video games all day, or sit on the beach and goof around and do nothing forever, and become big fat sloths, is never a risk. We're so far on that spectrum of follow through, diligence, completion, whatever, that it's not a concern. So the hustle, I enjoy activity, I enjoy being inspired and moving, but getting into flow, my buddy Justin Fairman has really helped teach me this one over the last year and a half. And I've got a really relevant example in my own life, how I went against that and it didn't work. And when I got into it, it did work. So through the fall, I was finishing up my manuscript for my book. And it was just kind of lingering. And so I was trying to get more clients, but I also wanted to get the book done, and neither were working. It was like I was fighting on both fronts. And so, with some advice from my wife and a good friend, I went and I just disappeared for 2 weeks. And my current clients gave me the space. I disappeared for a couple days over 2 weeks, got the manuscript done, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was perfect. It was effortless. The space, the cabin that our friends let me borrow, was free and easy and perfect, and the writing came easily, and I was completely in flow and could definitely see doing that again and writing more books that way. It was really fulfilling, and I'm not a writer by nature. I don't write endlessly every day, but it worked, and I got done. And then I thought, okay, now I need to go back into hustle and grind mode to get clients and build up off of some space that I had to get the book done. And so through the fall, I was really focused. I was diligent. I was like, okay, I have to build a consultancy. It has to look this way because I'm launching the book and it's going to be this thing that all these expectations I had. And for whatever reason, I had great prospects, I had great referrals, and nothing panned out. And so I doubled down towards the end of January, early February, and made more proposals. And I had all these expectations, and again, nothing panned out. And so finally, I just was like, okay, I'm done with the expectations that it has to look this way, that it has to meet these criteria, and was just more open. And this is a state I enjoy being in. My wife and I describe it that we hold things like this, that we're open. We don't grip it and hold it. It has to be this way, and we won't let it go. Or if it fails, if it leaves us, we failed. Like, it's like, okay, something comes and it sits there, and like, great, that's awesome. What a blessing. And if it leaves, it just means something else is coming to replace it. And that's how I looked at my consulting work and the projects and the partnership opportunities and whatever. And I just said, screw it, I'll leave it, and I'll take whatever comes along, and I'll be more opportunistic, which is more my personality type. And lo and behold, stuff just comes out of the woodworks. I got an old college roommate, hadn't talked to in about 5 years plus, calls me out of the blue, and invites me to a meeting. And long and the short of it is, we're partnering. I'm getting equity in helping him grow his insurance brokerage. And then a couple other things come together. I reach out to a friend. They need some copywriting work done. I said, hey, do you need some copywriting work done? And she says, look at this note. I had just messaged her partner. She just messaged her partner an hour earlier saying, we need a copywriter. And I did a copywriting project for him, and it was great. And other things, it just serendipity after serendipity from letting go and being in flow. And I was proactive, but I wasn't forcing it. I wasn't I wasn't grinding. I wasn't ramming my forehead through walls, and I wasn't trying to make it happen. I was just reaching out and seeing how I can help people. And a couple other deals that came through were bigger than I've ever had. And it all came from letting go and not worrying about what it looked like, but just moving forward in how I can help people. So if you are tired of running into walls, frustrated that you can't break through, you can't figure out the next step, figure out where the easy path is. I know this is very ethereal and very fuzzy, but I was just talking with a guy this morning, semi-mentoring him, and he said, yeah, I've got a lot of options, and I'm really prayerful about what to do. And I said, just pick the easy one. There's no difficult decision in this. You don't have to make a decision today. Just keep moving forward with both options and pick the easy one. Pick the one that's effortless. Pick the one that's most exciting. Pick the one that's the most fun. And so if in your business you are frustrated, you've been trying to solve something, you've been trying to get something fixed, something to break through, I say step back and reprioritize why you're fighting so hard to get that thing through. It's probably the wrong timing. It's probably the wrong direction. There's probably some other door needing to go open. I'm not getting into all the figurative, ethereal language, but I always find that the more I'm grinding and expecting and wanting it to go through, the less it'll happen. So hope that's helpful. Leave a comment, shoot me a note, let me know how I can help. Happy to brainstorm through whatever you're facing, but stop grinding, stop the hustle, focus on the flow. It feels totally different when you're in it. The peace and ease and the serendipity, you just keep saying, wow, what a coincidence, what a coincidence. And it's obviously not a coincidence. It's just you stopped fighting, you stopped forcing your own agenda into the situation. And a great example, I just was watching Dan Meredith's video on his greatest marketing event times Affinity Plus One last year, and that was flow for him. I guarantee it. Frank, his partner, buddy, got Gary Vaynerchuk on board to speak, and that fell into place and everything else went downhill. Yes, there was a lot of work. There was a lot of overtime and a lot of stress and concern about pulling it all together, but the hard part of getting Gary Vaynerchuk on board was done right out of the gate, probably with very little negotiation, very little haranguing, and very little grinding to make that happen, and the rest took care of itself. Yes, they did a lot of work. Yes, they pulled off an amazing thing, but the hardest part was the easiest, actually, getting a guy like Gary Vee on board. So just do an assessment. Figure out where you're the most disappointed, frustrated, where you have the biggest expectations not being met, and how can you step back from that to release that pressure and maybe allow something else to slide into its place. So have a great weekend.